Yes.
Okay, looks like we are ready to roll. So welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So cheers everybody. We made it to another Friday. Oh, we gotta reach for our drinks. Ah, here we are. Cheers. Cheers, y'all. Well, I am Lisa, Lookout Lisa, one of your hosts tonight. And we have another host.
I am JD, Kid Vegas 19. I'm monitoring the YouTubes tonight.
All right, good work. And, oh, okay. So, good, thanks, son. So tonight our topic is about the new upcoming release called of Treasures. And but before we get there, we do have a little bit of housekeeping. Only get more folks in from the waiting room. There we go. But before we get there, we've got a segment that we call Notes from the Field. So we'd love to know what sort of geocaching adventures y'all have been up to. And we like to keep everybody to just 2 minutes for Notes from the Field. That gives everyone a chance to share what they've been up to, and then we can roll into our main topic. So while we are here together, those of us in Zoom, please keep yourself on mute until you are called on. And if you'd like to share anything, just raise your hand in Zoom and we will call on you in order. However, we know some things come up out of order. You know, if you've got an answer to a question or want to comment on something that somebody just said, you can always just wave at the camera and hopefully one of us will see you and be able to pull you into the conversation in a timely manner. Please keep everything family friendly. Treat this like you would any geocaching event. There might be kids in the Zoom room with us. We are live streaming to our YouTube channel as well at our Cache Advance channel. So this is live and it's also being recorded to go into our Mappy Hour hub.
You did unpause.
I did unpause. It is recording. Yeah.
I have one job. Make sure it's unpaused.
Yeah.
Oh, two jobs and then monitor.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for a raise.
Double of nothing is still nothing. Well, at least the drinks are free. So speaking of YouTube and your job, so if you're watching us on YouTube, great. Hello, our YouTube friends. Feel free to join in the conversation. Just type in any comments. And as JD mentioned, he is monitoring that and will bring your comments into our conversation here on Zoom. So I think those are the main things. So again, welcome everybody. This is our brand new link. This year we thought we would, since we're having so many issues over the last couple of months with the old Zoom link that was literally like 4 years old. Let's just start fresh. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, that you only have to register once and you'll be able to continually use the same link to join in. And getting more folks coming in the waiting room.
So before we get into Notes from the Field, want a big shout out to the hardest working man in cash business, GSM ×2, Scott, for helping us out last time. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much. You've been a big help over and over again.
My pleasure.
Good. Great. So yeah, Scott and I were also talking earlier today about tonight's topic. So we're on the same wavelength. I mean, you and I were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, it's a natural topic.
Talking about treasures, and I can't wait to revisit it once they actually launch. But I'm getting ahead of myself here and ahead of all of us. So let's hear from Notes from the Field.
Yes, hands up.
Yeah, we do. I'd love to know what you all have been up to geocaching wise, adventures, things you're planning to do, things you have done, what have you. So we've got, I think it is Robert first, gold star to Robert, and then Melissa to kick us off to get started. So go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, sorry I wasn't on in December. I had a holiday party and the Nutcracker to attend, so that's why I was not on. Started off at the end of the year attending a geocaching event. I got my 5,000 find and my 100th Adventure Lab found. I attended another geocaching event the 1st of January. The public transit bus didn't show up for me and ditched me, so I had to get a ride from another group of cashers. So at least there's always plan B when you have to do that. Was
Yeah.
able to attend the events and was able to pick up a new geocoin and a new old trackable from the Year of the Dragon tag set. So I was able to get that trackable. And then I've been buying some coins off Space Coast Geocaching store. They recently acquired a huge collection, so I've been buying a few coins off them to increase my collection.
Awesome. Yeah, I see that they've been doing auctions.
Auctions.
Yeah, they're all throughout the holiday season and they're still doing them. So cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wish I had a lot more money. I would be buying a lot more of the cool coins.
So do they.
Yeah.
No, they do a good job, and
Mhm.
yeah, at least we're getting some. So
For sure.
there you go.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Well, good to hear from you. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so we got some people in on YouTube. We have Grateful Does It from Oak Grove, Missouri.
Oh, hey.
We got Dale Johnson in from Northern Utah, and I am gonna just murder this. So sorry, Dale. It's either Ushki or USHKII. So either way, Dale, we're glad you are here.
Awesome. And we've got folks from all over. I was just noticing in the chat. Obviously, us in Spokane and Mountain Goat 50 is also here from Spokane, Holland, Missouri, Michigan, Michigan, Pittsburgh, Colorado, Florida. I'd love to be in Florida right now. Toledo must be Ohio. Yep. Oregon and Maryland. Oh, Seebeck, Washington, which is
Yeah.
the other side of the state from us. And Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So cool. Yeah, we're getting folks from all over. And maybe we'll get some international friends joining us as the evening progresses. So let's see, we've got Melissa next and then Vince. So go ahead, Melissa.
So couldn't get in the last one. So the first thing is for New Year's Eve, we have a small town who does a German celebration. And for the 4th year in a row, a lady has done a geocaching event. And I took my oldest grandson this year. And so he went to his first geocaching event. And he really enjoyed it. They do fireworks and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And then this week, despite our snow and our cold, we have a college student who had put out 4 new caches. And 2 of them, a very athletic local guy had gone and gotten, but 2 were still sitting there. And these were like less than 4 miles from home. So Heather and I went out the one day and got the lower terrain rating of the 2, which was still an adventure. And we had driven by the other one and we were going, oh, we are not dressed for that. So we didn't even touch it. And then the next day we dressed it to, hike a small icy mountain. And it was snowing while we were doing it. And so I did notify the cache owner that it really needed to be a higher terrain rating because he has to take into account the weather. So he did up it some, but so we had 2 first to finds this week in the ice and snow and really cold weather. Although next week's colder. We're having a faux warm up for 2 days and then we die. So, yes.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it's been colder here too.
How cold was cold?
It was in the teens this week. It's going to be single digits and I'm talking about highs, not the cold. We're supposed to be in negative numbers at night next week. So
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Yeah, gosh, we'll stay warm.
they on the news, they said this is the coldest it will be in 10 years.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's not normal cold.
Yeah, yeah.
At least not here. It's not normal cold here.
Right, yeah.
And going back to your caches, I've run across caches that, like you say, depending on the weather, the terrain's different. And
yeah.
so people will put that in their description or maybe even in the hint. They'll say difficulty based on, springtime temps or whatever. Your
Mhm.
mileage may vary.
Yeah.
So yeah, if any of us are gonna hide that type of cache, keep that in the back of our mind.
Right, right. But
Hmm.
yeah, we don't want to change the difficulty in terrain because
Right.
that can throw off people's challenges down the road. They may have qualified for something and then you don't if that cache all of a sudden changes. Yeah, and I'm thinking of caches this time of year on an island up north, northern climes, you can actually walk out to because the lake froze. So suddenly, it's a 2 terrain where it was a 5 terrain back in August or something. So yeah, that's a challenge. But anyway, good. Congratulations on your FTFs, Melissa. That's awesome. We've got more hands flying up. So I think it was Vince,
Correct.
Jim, and then Tom.
Oh, and by the way, it's Dale corrected me. It's Ushki.
Ashki.
There we
Okay, good.
Okay, well, anyway, the highlight of the last 2 weeks is, well, a week and a half ago, I hit find number 18,000 at our uh, weekly Tuesday Tulip City pizza lunch event. And then also, I finally took some time and I did a very nicely done adventure lab that ran through downtown Holland. It was definitely one though. You kind of had to think out the box, and it was kind of hilarious because we got to the first stop, and first stop was like asking for a certain amount of planters or something, and we're looking around, and man, you don't see any planters or whatever. So all else fails. There's two of us. Okay, start guessing. So all of a sudden, okay, we trip the zone, go on to the next one. And then suddenly my caching partner, she points out to me, says, "Hey, there's a video here it looks like we can watch or something." So we started scrolling, watching the video. And, oh, yeah, made life a whole lot easier. Yeah, so yeah, it was definitely a different type of adventure. I have not really done one like that before. So yeah, definitely a thumbs up to the curator of that one.
So maybe I could explain just a little bit more. Is when you get to the spot where you start you are not where the answer are. You had to follow the video down the road, uh, making a series of left and right hand turns and looking at some landscapes, and then you would get to where the answer was. And this was one that was done under the name of Bella, and yeah, and I'm getting good reviews on it from people who read the description.
And which I was not one of them.
Right.
I love that idea, though. That's a great concept that you and Bella came up with. To where it's kind of like that old, the pirate thing, 3 steps to the left and 5 steps backwards and what have you. But you're following a video that takes you where you need to go. So
Yep.
cool. Love that idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Vince. Were you through with your update? Yep. Okay, cool. So we've got Jim next.
Hello. I'm this the last December, the last Mappy hour in December because I had to go down and get my final coaster fix for the year. I went to Kings Island Amusement Park. They have a winter fest in December. It's mostly during the weekends in December, but the week before Christmas and the week between Christmas and New Year's, they go on a daily basis. But basically, it's a mostly Christmas themed activity. where the whole place is decorated with tons of Christmas lights. They do celebrate other winter festival or holidays. But they have parades and shows, and of course, there 3 of the coasters were running, and it's kind of very cold riding coasters in 30 some degree weather, but it was still popular and everybody was doing it yet. So I got my coaster fix, but basically they're only open from like 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every night. So it's a very limited time frame. But I went down there for 5 days and for 5 evenings. And so of course, since they didn't open till 5, I had the whole day to do geocaching,
Sure.
up to so I can get there by 4:30 when I can get in the gate. So basically, I was doing all my geocaching. I had targeted geocaches. I was finding. I'm getting back on my birthday cache fix. We're trying to find. So I had a list of all the birthday caches. So those were the primary ones I went to, and some other ones. I basically was targeting specific caches each day, but it was fun to do that. And then of course, did my coaster fixing and other holiday activity at the amusement park. So it was a very enjoyable trip. So hopefully I'll probably go back there again next year. I haven't been there in like 3 or 4 years doing that. The last time I went, it was actually snowing when I was there. So it was a very unusual being in an amusement park when it's snowing. You're used to walking the aisles or whatever when it's cold or when it's warm and hot and you're sweating. Here you're walking in snow, but it didn't snow this time. It was cold, but it wasn't snowy. But like I said, I had an enjoyable time. So, and I did a lot of geocaching. So whatever, that's all that matters, I guess.
That sounds perfect. Great way to wrap up the year and bring in the new year. So
Yep.
cool. Thanks, Jim.
We got Tom and then Lori
And Charles.
and then Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hid my first letterbox hybrid cache not too far from the batter up cache that I did many years ago off the Cottonwood exit of 97. And I posted it late on Sunday the 5th, and Monday morning it had a find. I have some big plans for late in the year 2025. November 8th, I'm going to be sailing out of Miami to the Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, the ABC Islands, on the Carnival Horizon. And the days that we're at sea is the National Convention of the Grange, the National Grange, which I've been a member of for quite a few years. So, and it's also the week after our 50th wedding anniversary, which is a great trip. So, yeah, and yeah, I think I'll be doing most of my caching fairly local, probably around Sun River area the rest of the year till November. Yep, that's it.
Well, it sounds like a
That's
big,
it.
really
Yep.
fun trip, and that's
That sounds
exciting.
cool.
And congratulations on
Yeah, I have a bookmark list started.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Hey, it's like the full report. We get back. All right, so we've got
Sorry,
Lori,
Lori,
Charles,
Charles.
and then Peach, Annette.
Hi.
Yay.
Hey.
So not to confuse people, well, I guess I am already confusing people. I have changed my last name from Cassidy to Keenholz. So if you see my face on there with a different name, it really is me. I have confused so many people. I had a lackey come up to me the other day and he's like, boy, you messed with me. I was like, who is this Lori person? I don't know who she is. He had to research, like, she looks familiar. She's really popular. She's well known. Who is this person? How do I know this person? I don't recognize the last name. So it was comical. So I held as a WSGA chapter rep, which is Washington State Geocaching Association. And we have 7 chapters in state of Washington, and I am in charge of one of them. And so I held my CCE this last weekend out at my local community center out by my house. And I created a bingo game where people had to fill in their bingo card. So they got a blank card with a list of 75 words. I think I need to shorten this. And they had 75 words to choose from. And my rule was 1 word per square. Well, I didn't specify is it had to be a different word per square. So some people put GPS in all of them or FTF in all of them. There was 2 people that did those, but everybody else filled it in. Have you ever been in a room with geocachers who are social and it's dead silent? It was so fun watching this as I'm reading off names, and it is dead silent in here. Everybody's looking on their card trying to find the word. Did I write that word down? Did I not write that word down?
Bingo.
Yeah. So I did 5 bingos and then I did 2 blackouts. And I was down to my last 5 words out of 75. And I'm like, nobody's calling a blackout yet. What am I going to do? How am I going to solve this? How am I going to do this? Finally, somebody called blackout. But it was just so fun watching them because it was dead silent so many times in between the words and stuff. So, but I had a good turnout. I had about 45 people, about 45, I think, 40 to 45 people show up. So
Wow.
it was a really good turnout.
So
It
the
was
2
fun.
people that just use 1 word over and over again, these people, I bet they were lawyers, right? They
You know,
figured.
I don't know what their profession is, so I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
They find all the loopholes.
Yeah.
I know it was funny because I'm like, no, you don't. She's brought it up and she's like, oh, it's a blackout. And I said, no, we were doing bingos first.
There we go. That works.
Then the blackouts were coming afterwards. But yeah, it was really fun. And I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people really did enjoy that. And stuff. So to answer Robert's question, no, I'm going back to my maiden name. So
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Lori.
you are welcome.
We better get to Charles.
Yeah. Do you have a plane to catch, Charles?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
I found a few caches. Quite a few, well, a few caches, but some visiting. So as you, some of you follow me on or see me on Facebook, I've been in Cambodia for this past week. The excursion to get here was an excursion, an adventure, not just about. I was supposed to leave Canada, go through, well, from Toronto to Dubai, and then to Bangkok. Turns out that as we were the plane had some mechanical issues, I guess. They deboarded us, canceled the flight, and then rescheduled us for the next day. So Scott and I took a little longer to get to Bangkok, which meant we missed our connection flight to Cambodia by about 4 hours. So, but anyway, the company was good enough to allow a change of flights for us. I think cost us a little bit of money, but that's okay. So we got it to right to Siem Reap, and then we saw Angkor Wat and a few other places. So along the way, we went to Narita, Japan. Extremely efficient transfer, even though you had to go through security. People were there waiting for us, and we were supposed to have an hour layover. Ended up being about 25 minutes, and having to go through security and no boarding pass because we had to pick up the boarding pass at the counter, at the boarding counter. Still having to go through security, but they said, yeah, we had a flight ticket, we had a boarding pass. They said, okay, go. And then we went to the counter, our tickets were waiting, sat on the plane even before the time was to leave. Got to Cambodia, so finally got to Cambodia, visited around, did a bunch of shows. So right now I've been able to get 3 new countries in the past week. What else? Caches in Japan, caches in Bangkok. There was a virtual at the airport, and then a bunch of adventure labs here and there. Angkor Wat was a virtual. Got a virtual, a shred, a multi mystery, a letterbox, earth cache here in Cambodia. I was looking at a bunch of things in there. So I had a chance to treat myself for a couple of massages here at Rapid Spas. And man, did it ever feel good, especially after that long trip. So now we're off to Bangkok for the next couple of days, and then we're going to go around the country, Chiang Mai, and then get the oldest cache in Thailand, in Chiang Mai. Oh, by the way, I did get the oldest cache in Cambodia also.
Oh, good.
Been pretty successful trip. Pretty successful trip up there.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
travel is always a challenge with delays and that sort of thing. So you just,
Well, yeah, the thing,
adventure.
for some reason I wish we had gone through Dubai, but maybe another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my trip. So we're about to board the plane. So also I'll be disappearing.
Okay.
So enjoy the nice weather there. But it's only about 30 degrees here. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Celsius. So it's about 90 degrees here. I'm really not enjoying it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Good to see you. Safe
Nice
travel.
to see you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So we've got Peach and then Scott.
Yeah.
Good evening. Skyhawker and I were two that could not get in 2 weeks ago, so we missed being able to get online. But we're here tonight, and we spent most of today up in Mesquite, Nevada area, almost into Utah, doing some caching with 2 of our caching friends here in Nevada. And 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be in Yuma, Arizona. And I don't know whether we'll be able to be on that night or not. And I know that some of you here will be in Yuma, and we're looking forward to seeing you there. Skyhawker and I are running the poker run. So if you're going to participate in that, we'll see you certainly on Sunday for that at our tent. And we've got all the parts put together and have it ready to go, and excited to see some of our friends that we don't see all that often. And just hope that we see you and you'll come by and say hi. And we're also hosting an event on Saturday late afternoon after you've run around all day to collect what you need to get the geocoin. We're hosting our What's for Dinner again on behalf of the WSGA, the Washington State Geocaching Association. And so come by and say hi, and we'll have some things to give away for those that are there. And just looking forward to a good year of caching in 2025.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you're able to get in, and I feel so bad about 2 weeks ago
2 weeks ago,
situation, but it unfortunately was beyond my control. Couldn't help it. We're sitting in the middle of a restaurant, but here we are. So it seems to be working much better now. And say hi to everybody, Annette, for us down in Yuma. We're not going to make it this year. We're taking a break from it for 1 year, but we hope to be back. in
Mhm.
2026. Well, hey, Scott.
Hello. You know, just so we can get to the topic, it's going to be real brief. Going to Yuma, going to do a presentation on doing Route 66 Adventure Lab series. Me and Marge, Marge for I forget his geocache. I can't pronounce his geocaching name, but he's the one who has put together the website for us. Route66al.net. Might as well throw that in. And he's also one of the people who has completed it. So he's going to help me co-host that presentation. So if you're there, look to forward to it. Hope you can show up and learn a little bit about the Route 66. And I'll just end with that.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks. Cool. Yeah.
So I think what we'll do is we'll reserve our notes from the field till we have some more built up. We did some pretty cool stuff, but let's get to
Down
the
on Walla Walla. Yeah.
in
sit
here.
around
Nice
here.
event here.
Mhm. Absolutely. I was thinking about
Yeah.
that too.
But it is topic time.
It is.
And
Yeah.
we should probably roll into that.
Yeah. So our topic tonight is the highly anticipated treasures that have been hinted at that there was going to be an announcement coming up this week, and all the information dropped on Tuesday around the new thing called treasures. And it's still a little vague to me. Obviously, it hasn't started yet and won't until March, but that's just around the corner. And a lot of information has been dropped.
Go ahead,
So go
Scott.
ahead, Scott. I know you
Okay, so I,
Yeah.
of course, being the hardest working man in all of geocaching, had to do a little preparation here and listen to a lot of Brian did the whole gambit of
Yeah.
podcasts, and I think the best one was actually the one Tuesday night that's hosted through the Geocache Talk Network, and they were doing challenges. And this really is kind of a challenge situation, and he did a really nice job being really thorough about it. So if you haven't heard about it, let me just give you the basics of it. Basic is it's a new game set. It's a new aspect that into geocaching that they're going to bring. Um, Somewhat like souvenirs, but I'm going to call it souvenirs 2.0. And so basically what they're going to come up with is they're going to come up with digital awards that you can earn by finding certain geocaches. You're going to earn treasures, and if you earn enough treasures or a collection of treasures, you'll have a collection. Um, for example, let's say the collection is writing instruments. So you're going to go visit different geocaches and you will collect a writing instrument at each of those geocaches. Um, this particular one that I'm setting up as an example is difficulty rating. So we're going to go from difficulty 1 to difficulty 2.5. Simple 5 geocached difficulties that you have to go to. And when you get to one, you will collect, let's say, a pen. And in another one, you'll collect a pencil. And at the next one, you'll collect chalk. And once you have all 5 of them, all of the difficulties from 1 to 2.5, you will have a collection of items. And there'll be lots of collections out there, but essentially they've only set it up so that you can do 1 or 2 at a time. So if you finish your writing implements collection, it'll open another collection that you can go get. Let's see. They have a lot of ability to do a lot of things with these. For one thing, they're going to set it up so that they have to have found at least 3 geocaches before it's going to activate for you. So they don't want to have somebody find their first geocache and suddenly, oh, here's collections. What the heck is that? So they're going to set that. But they can also set it for people who are going to get this collection. You have to have found at least 500 geocaches. Or they might set it the opposite direction. People who are going to get this collection have to have found less than 50 geocaches, something really simple. So they'll be out there doing that. Um, and then let's see. And then when you find one of these items, you're going to get a notification. Kind of like we get when we're getting souvenirs. You know, you collect a souvenir, you have found a souvenir. Some people probably don't want to participate, don't want to play, so they can just turn off that feature and they won't get the notifications. I don't know if they're in the background going to be collecting their treasures, but you know, that's something I don't know. Um, to find what you have found, you're going to go into the profile, and you can go into the profile either on, you know, through a web browser on a desktop or, you know, on a computer, or you can also do this through the app. You know, right now when you go into your profile, you can see, you know, who you can see your statistics, you can see your friends, you can see, and now you're going to be able to see your collections or your treasures. So that's the essence of it. Let me see if I have anything in here. Yeah, I think that's all I've written down in my notes as the very basic stuff. It can become very complicated. It's not going to be introduced that way, so let's not go that way right now. And yeah, and they're interested in people, you know, seeing how people react. They want to get a lot of feedback, and they will be introduced in March. And then let's see, getting a no, Lori, it is going to be on the app. They're being introduced both in the app and on the web page. What it's not going to be introduced immediately is to the API partners. So right away, you know, you're not going to be able to see it in Project GC. You're not going to be able to see it in, you know, Cashly or any of the apps. But and the reason they're doing that is because if there's errors, if there's something that's not working right, they want to be able to correct it within their simple environment. And then once they know that it's working, then they definitely, as early as possible, want to release it to everybody else. What happens when you complete a collection? When you complete a collection, you will get the icons or this souvenir looking items. You know, there will be artwork, and that will open up another collection for you. Okay, and yeah, so did you guys pick up anything else that I have forgotten?
No, you really covered the high points of the what I have learned as well. I think you probably have listened to a few more podcasts and read more. But those are really the basics. These can be time limited or in perpetuity currently. Again, they don't know exactly if they're going to continue with this, but they're going to give it a go for this year. And I don't know. I have questions and concerns and excitement around it. You know, it's another game within the game. It's similar to a lot of their promotions that they've done around this, and or you know that they've done through geocaching, but those have all been very time limited. Like Ryan had said, you know, you can't go back and do the Mary Hyde or the night at the museum today. But with treasures, potentially you could if they're still open. I'm also wondering if this is going to replace challenges down the road, but probably not. But yeah.
You know, from what I heard on Challenge Talk, especially since they talk challenges, it's not going to be replacing challenges. I think what's interesting is it kind of brings challenges into GCHQ instead of somebody going out and signing then creating a cache. That is a challenge that only, you know, only certain people can get to. That, you know, a Jasmer challenge, for example, I believe there's only one per state. So it's going to open up that type of activity for for everybody, if they set, and some of them will be difficult. One of them, I'm not anticipating that this would happen, but one could be a Jasmer Challenge collection, and anybody could, if anybody could do it, or that type of challenge. And I think for me, when I was listening to it, it's because they realize that a lot of people are goal oriented. A lot of geocachers are goal oriented, and this is kind of they're anticipating injecting some enthusiasm into into the game, especially for those who've been in for a long time, have cashed, and have done a lot of things, and now this is going to be a kind of a new challenge for them to do if they choose to participate. Okay. Now Melissa has her hand up.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, question. Okay, I'll use the writing implements since that's what you mentioned, Scott. So, like, say I know I still need chalk. Are certain caches, am I going to know certain caches or something I can try to go get chalk at?
Let's say that the challenge, you're just using my example. So you have found a difficulty 1, a difficulty 1.5, a difficulty 2.5, and a difficulty whatever I forgot. So you know that you have to go find that one difficulty that you haven't gotten, and that's going to give you the chalk.
Thank you.
So unlike that, the one was at the night at the museum where these things were at certain caches. You had to go to a certain cache to claim the item or what have you. It's not going to be that hard. You just have to find something that meets the criteria, and then you will be granted that treasure.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I understand it. It may play out completely different.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if, I know Mountain Bike is in the room, if he would have anything that he'd be allowed to add. That would be fantastic.
And mountain bike, if you don't, that's fine too. It may not be part of what you do for HQ. So no
I've
worries.
been involved with testing it initially at work, and so I know how it works. But there's still a lot on the implementation. I know the mechanics of it, as to how they plan to implement it, and motivate cachers out there. That'll be up to other teams, and that's still being discussed. So I don't have much to add.
Thank you, John. Appreciate you adding that. And again, Brian has kind of run the gambit of podcasts. So if you go to your favorite podcasts, he has probably been there this week, and has a lot more information, and of course a lot more official information.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we can even get him on Mappy Hour as we get closer, or as this launches, if he's willing. Give it a try.
And probably like do an interview with them that we record and show it on Mappy Hour.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So-
I know that he's not a female, but if somebody had like a podcast for females, might interview him on that.
Yeah. Or somebody on there. Yeah. It's coming. It's
So-
coming along.
So now, maybe I'm still confused about the issue here. Not the issue, the whole thing.
Concept.
Yeah, issue makes it sound like it's a bad thing. But okay, so I know a souvenir is waiting for me. All I gotta do is go log a cache I found in the state of North Dakota, and I'm gonna get that souvenir.
For that state.
Okay, so now, how do I really want to get the 5 writing instruments? Will that be something I know to go do, or will I have to wait till it's fed to me?
And will you earn these that's what I'm looking for. So you already met the qualifications by the time the thing comes out. Do you earn it retroactively?
No, you do not.
That'd be,
You gotta
Nor
have to
can,
start all over again.
that'd be beside the point. That's the whole
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Get you
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
yeah,
Get you-
as Brian said to me when I asked, can I revisit a cache and just put a note? He said, no, that would be way too easy. We want to make this a little more difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Unlike
Yeah.
challenges,
Right.
you may not even know that retroactively we,
Yeah.
are qualified for hundreds probably at this
Mhm.
point.
And then any clarification, you were saying, okay, in order to qualify for this treasure, you need to have found, I think you said 500 caches for your
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
or the other way around. You had to have found less than 50. Would that mean people who have 51 would not qualify for this
Yeah,
one?
we would.
That is correct. And, it would probably be some very simple challenge or very simple collection to do that they want the people who are just getting into the game to be able to accomplish it nice and easy.
No, I mean that's perfect
Yeah.
because then later on in the geocaching life, these people can now have something you can't ever get. And then remind you about that at events. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Trevor used to do that with me with the locationless cache because it wasn't available when I started caching.
Yeah.
And so he would mention that he had this one icon that I could never get, but I got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'd be fun.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to interject some new energy into the game for people who've been in the game for a long, long time. People who've been in the game who are serious, frequent geocachers. They'll put out their Silver program, and invariably a lot of people would, oh, that's so simple. I completed it in 6 hours.
Exactly.
Now they're going to be able to set out stuff that's going to be a little more complicated. As Star Cacher is pointing in there could be they have discussed having randomized the game so that, and I hope they don't do the 10%, Jim, to be honest with you. But let's say that 50% of the time that you go to a cache that might have a treasure in it, it doesn't have a treasure. That makes it a little bit more difficult. And, so it's not going to be, they can tune the dials to make it easier or more difficult.
That would be really frustrating if you think you're getting what you need to meet the criteria for a particular treasure and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like going because the inventory says there's a travel bug there and
It's not there.
Melissa, did you put your hand up again?
Nope. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. You still have to talk though.
And
Sure, I'm happy to talk. Sorry, I missed taking it down. My
Okay.
apologies.
No worries. We thought you just had another question. Yeah.
well, Simone, yeah, and you already answered it. Of course, they're going to have some items that they can purchase that are related to this.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be some things coming. Yeah.
Yeah, just like they do with souvenirs. You can get a souvenir, and you can buy a jewel coin.
That's right. Yeah. And Groundspeak does, I'm a distributor for Groundspeak, and they do share what's upcoming, and some things are top secret that I'm not allowed to share until a certain date. I know nothing.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
That's right.
No,
So what do other people think about it? You and I have talked enough about this. What do other people think?
so yeah, don't all jump in at once, okay?
Okay.
I think it's cool. I'm a souvenir person. So I think the Mary Hyde was really kind of a fun thing to do and to go to search. But the idea that I could go to the same cache and someone else could go to the same cache and have the same criteria, I might not get it, but that person may get it. would be frustrating, so, but I think it's going to be a fun thing to do, to gather the souvenirs and stuff. So the treasures, sorry. So I think it'll be fun. It'll be a new challenge. It'll be a way of like challenging yourself to get out there and get something different, or to look for maybe something that's more difficult than what you might not normally go for, but you're like, oh, that one meets the criterias of what I want. I'm going to go ahead and try tackling it.
Mhm.
Or people just push you up the hill and, make you go up, big steep hills and drag you along. That's my
Yeah.
2 cents.
Yeah, some good points. Thanks, Lori. Melissa, you did put your hand up again.
Yes, I did put my hand up there. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how it goes. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Mhm.
something else to try. And I'm into trying new things. So, yeah, I'm curious. I'm waiting and seeing how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice to know that HQ is doing stuff like this. They're thinking about it. They're constantly trying to evolve
Mhm.
the game, the sport, and kudos on them for coming up with the idea. And it's, on the surface it seems like, well, okay, man, it's another digital something or other, great, but just what John said, he's sort of tested it and he knows how it works, but there's whole other teams, plural, that have to implement this thing.
Yes.
And so that's where HQ is really good at implementing something that makes it seem like a person or two is all that was needed to get this done.
Yeah. And we're sure it's multiple teams.
Exactly.
With multiple members for sure.
And I would say, tagging on to what you said, is, yeah, you're going to get another digital something, but you know what I got when I finished my Jasmer? Personal satisfaction and a smiley on one find that I had signed a long time ago.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was that satisfaction. I know when I finished mine, it was like, wow, it was such a trek to get there, but it really was just one last find.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And one thing that, while this discussion has been evolving, and we were talking about, you mentioned, you go to a cache to see, thinking there's a trackable there, and it's not.
Right.
We also go to caches hoping there's going to be some cool swag. And maybe there is, maybe there isn't. So it really isn't that different if there may or may not be a treasure in that particular cache as well to earn those digital pixels. Cool. Any other thoughts around this?
Well, do you remember what Brian was saying about the sharing of the experience?
Yes.
Yeah. And go ahead. I was sort of eating a piece of cheese and it was crunchy.
Yeah. Well, that was a little bit vague as well, but I think that they're wanting to be able to promote that when you do earn a treasure, you're able to share it on your socials.
Yeah.
That, X cacher found X or Y treasure, and then you can share it to Facebook or X or what have you. I don't know. Yeah.
Right. Kind of like you can share your postcards now when you finish an AL.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just taking out, ALs or lab adventures, as we like to call them up here. Just think of how they have evolved from what they were. And it was really a short time ago. So, and there's probably some of us sitting around saying, well, this is just you don't get anything, and you don't sign anything, and now we're like, it's the greatest thing on earth. And so yeah, it's
Yeah.
let's give this a chance, and it might be the second greatest thing on
That
earth.
might, yeah, might stick.
Mhm.
And Simone, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. No, you will not be able to go to past geocaches. These have to be finds,
So future finds. Mhm.
future finds. Yep.
And earlier in the chat, Simeon said his sister is a missionary in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I missed that.
Mhm.
It flew by in the chat. Cool. Wow.
That was when Charles was talking.
Yeah, okay. Okay. It's great. We know people all over the place.
Yeah.
Sure.
Really, it turns out you just need to know Charles, but okay.
Well, Charles is all over.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
And Enrique, I can't answer that question. Perhaps mountain bike can answer. How will we know if if a cache has a treasure included in it? He really wasn't that clear on how we would know.
It really wasn't, was it?
I got the feeling that for some, you will know, for others, you won't. It would be like if I'm recalling correctly, the gemstone promotion one, you didn't know which ones held the gems. You had to go out and find caches, and then you finally found the one with the ruby. Now you got the ruby. Now you just needed the sapphire and the diamond, and you just had to keep geocaching around for those.
I can say that during testing, and I think I'm okay saying this, but when you looked at your treasure collections on the web, there was a link for a search. That search cannot be duplicated in the app for various reasons, so there was not a search in the app, unfortunately. I don't know if that'll be changed by the time this all rolls out. And also, again, the details will be implemented. The mechanism is there for it to work anyway. But it could be marketing says, oh, we want it to be a 5% chance that you get this in a given cache, whereas in another instance it might be 100% chance. So a lot of that is TBD.
Okay.
Well, I just know this is a stretch, but I have a feeling it could go this way in this day and age. But for example, in our household here, we have four TVs that are hooked up through Roku. And so, for example, we could be watching the kitchen TV and watching the living room TV to the same show or sporting event or whatever. And at commercial time, the commercials are different on the kitchen TV than they are the living room TV.
Yep.
And so I am thinking we'll have the ability, and Lori, this is, you and your pal are going to the same cache, and she gets it and I don't have it because the program.
Yeah, your bandwidth is different.
Yeah, I don't get it because I found more than 51 caches. She gets it because she's found 23.
Could be.
Something like that. It just that's just a feeling on my part, sort of, hey, where's this going?
Yeah.
And that is actually, to me, a little bit exciting how this could morph into that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. So, Scott, do you have any kind of closing thoughts around this, or things that have come up during this discussion?
I'm a great believer that what makes this game so exciting and for so many is that there's so many different aspects to this game, and that find those aspects that you love to do that bring you joy and leave the rest for others to enjoy. this is a whole different aspect that's coming in. I think it's going to bring a lot of joy to a lot of people, and other people can turn off notification and ignore it. And you know, and then how I feel about it personally, that's my personal feeling. And I'm kind of going to wait till March and to finish the form, because on one hand, I do pursue the souvenirs, and on the other hand, I do not pursue the challenges. And so where is this going to fall in that little bell curve? Not sure. We'll find out. Talk to me in June.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and JNLA, absolutely. You're the opposite. You love those challenges, and yeah, and yeah, and the one thing that we do have in common, JNLA, is we both, when we were finishing our Jasmer, were racing against a storm. Mine was lightning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so were you.
That's funny because when I finished my Jasmer, it was a downpour. Yeah. Cold and foggy. And yeah.
That's funny because I haven't finished my jet. So.
Yeah. With me. Yeah.
So Simeon is asking, do we know a release date?
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
Lisa has that answer. They hope
Yeah.
to release it in March. They're going to release it when it's ready to be released.
Yeah, they want to wait. Obviously, they're still doing some testing and such, but it's supposed to be happening in March.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
it reminds me of Walt Worthy when he bought the Davenport Hotel here in Spokane and remodeled it. He would always say, people ask him, when's it going to open up again? He said the 15th. He never said which month. And he did actually open it on the 15th of the month, but left it rather vague. I get it.
And Star Cashers, they will definitely make the first collections easy and simple, and then expand beyond that to who knows.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, so we got some comments from YouTube. I'll read. I missed Great Does It on their notes from the field, but they were snowed in, so they finally got out after working on some puzzles, did 4 adventure labs and 1 traditional, and then had 3 DNFs, but they got out. Great Does It says, I don't like the randomizer part, but I'm excited to see the collections. Dale Johnson says, I'm not thinking I will initially make this a goal, but hope to run across as I play. Maybe this will pique my interest. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And Nicole, B Genius. I listened first via the Geocache Talk Network, and I really liked when he said that they can toggle the difficulty. So some are easy for us newbies and harder for more experienced ones. Yep.
Okay. So one particular treasure could be easier for one individual, but harder to attain for a different. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Guess I skipped that part. I didn't have it on 2.0 speed.
Yeah. Brian was talking.
Yeah, he was talking fast. Yeah. Well, this is fascinating. I can't wait to revisit this as it gets launched, and maybe a couple of months into it, like you were saying, Scott, come June, which would be, on the heels of the next Woodstock. Yeah. See how it might play in with events too. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. I'm not seeing any hands up or protocols. Oh gosh, drinks are full price.
Yep.
Sorry. Well, this was a great topic. Again, I can't wait to see how this all rolls out and what our thoughts are going forward and as it grows and evolves for sure. My brother is visiting us from Montana. He's been staying here this week. We're working on his course that I'm helping him build. And we're going to go out to dinner after this. So that's going to be our fun evening out. And then his daughter, my niece, is coming in tomorrow. So super excited for a little bit of family time this weekend. So Great to see everybody. Go ahead, Scott.
What was this show sponsored by? What was
Oh,
this
gosh.
topic sponsored by?
Thank you for asking. I'm like, well, speaking of courses, obviously, we do have our own course as well. It's the Puzzle Pro substitution course. And if you'd like to find out more information about that, you can go to our main page, which is cash-advance.com. Scroll down a little bit and you'll see the link to that. And then the other promotion that we have going right now is our mystery boxes, not holiday boxes, but mystery boxes.
Well, what's in them?
It's a mystery. I
Ah.
can't tell you guys. Hello.
I tried. Sorry.
Yeah. And we definitely shipped out quite a few of those. And cash crates are going out right now. We got a little over half of them out today. My brother helped pack them. So if there's any problems, let him know.
Yeah.
With your crate. Although he did a pretty good job. Yeah. He's very fast. So thank you, Scott, for reminding me about sponsorships. Appreciate that. And it looks like this new link is working. So fingers crossed in the future, you won't have to re-register. It will be the same new link going forward. So we will see you all.
Yep.
And
I'm glad Mike made it in.
Yeah,
Yep.
he did.
Yeah.
Great. So we'll see you all in 2 weeks, same cash time, same new cash channel. Take care, everybody. Happy caching.